Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. So we got sidetracked a bit, right? We're building out the opening cinematic for our game, and this is where it leaves us. And we've got these like collisions for the bed here, so that it plops you like perfectly into bed. We've got a little loot that you can open. We've got basically I got sidetracked because of a couple reasons. When we finish the demo, I'd like to be able to deploy it to the website so people can play, and I can say, hey, I've got a demo, you can play it right now on your phone. So getting it working on the mobile has been like a bonus. I would say not a necessary thing to focus on, because it's not the main, people aren't going to be able to play it fully on the phone because you can't save and load your game. So it's only ever kind of like a proof of concept. So I kind of regret spending 15 hours optimizing it the past 3 days off stream. But I think I got something working for it. Now the issue was on the Love.js mobile deployment, when we use the baton input library for touch detection, it slows our frame rate down to about 35 FPS, which is all fine. Our logic is scaled to delta time, which is no big issue. But the thing is, we're detecting collision based on left and right and top and bottom. And in order to calculate collision correctly, we have these thin little boxes that don't overlap with one another. So the top colliding box is like 3 pixels or 4 pixels tall, and the right one is about 4 pixels wide, and they're shifted so that there's no like direct corner collision, so they're not touching or whatever. So the issue is when we were down at like 30 FPS on the mobile deployment, the delta time step would move our character further than that 4 pixel, because all of our logic is based on Game Boy resolution. It's 144 wide by 160, or I got that backwards, 160 wide by 144 tall, and that small pixels over the course of a 30th of a second with our current walk speed put us past the bounding box, and we were actually triggering a side collision when it should have been a top collision, which meant if we were colliding with an upwards wall, it would shit us all the way off screen. And then it was just a game-breaking bug, because you can't get back on screen because it's a collidable object, and you can't even see yourself because you're physically off screen. And then when it's broke like that, you can walk out of bounds and trigger scene transitions you weren't supposed to. So everything broke on the mobile deployment once we added the baton library, and that's pretty necessary so that we don't have to keep triplicating our code with every input. Instead of saying, on a keyboard left press, do this, right? Because it's like, when you think of what does left do in the game, when you hit left, what does it do? It does a shitload of things. It does so many things. It all depends on the state and everything, because left could make you walk left. It could make you stop walking if you have a contradictory input. It could make you walk diagonally up and left if up was held first. It could select a different inventory. So it's like every time we had a unique case like that, we had to build out, now also do that for the touch, or also do that for the joystick. And it's like now this input detection, we just tell it what button is paired to what action, and then it should work on touch, keyboard, and gamepad. So that's why I spent these 15 hours in the past couple days getting that working. So now, and I'll have to switch over to it. It's in our other branch. So if we do, we gotta fetch down our other branch. Okay, so we've got this baton touch feature branch, right? So let's just switch over to it and see what's up. Okay, so we're on our baton touch branch, and now there's a couple of things we need to set our scale for our scale factor here in our constants. Yeah, right here. Turn off the web one and put on development. because I was testing a lot, uploading to the web deployment and getting it working, and I finally, oh no, well, we're rendering this when this is okay. This is okay. This is I didn't see this rendering on my other one, so that makes me think we're doing it on the virtual resolution, not the actual resolution. But we were detecting them appropriately. So this is, we're rendering our baton touch buttons. But ideally, I mean, what's actually happening here is our collision. Hey, Merksu, what's up? Yeah, I've got to fix the rendering for the baton touch. But the good news is we are now having correct collision detection, even if we're running, well, as it breaks. This is an exception, right? Because we're sandwiched between two collidable objects and one is moving. So like once one smashes us, our game has to say, okay, well, we have to move one of them, and then it's kind of an extreme move, right? So he pushed us into that collidable object because we actually aren't detecting collisions with Tashio on other stuff in an idle state. So that's another thing I have to kind of work around. Right now, we have collision if we're walking into something. Our collision's based on this walk state, which, you know what, we have to shift our bottom collision by 1 pixel because, well, that looked right. Oh, no. Okay, the sign is a unique one because it doesn't get drawn to the very top. So basically, we're not gonna put ourselves in the situation where the game's gonna be doing this, which is having a NPC that walks and can push us into a collidable object. We're not gonna schedule that, so that should be okay. Long term, we have to probably just add collision detection into the scene for all of our collidable objects. It gets really messy because we've got collidable objects like the tiles, right? We've got collidable objects like a pushable, like this. We've got collidable objects like a wall, which is a very specific collidable object with different hitboxes so that it looks better, like in a dungeon. And then it's also in full screen, so that might be triggering some weird stuff too. But basically, what I changed in the past, what's up, Loki? Good evening. The big thing I changed in the past 15 hours off stream of trying to get this figured out is that we are no longer calculating Tashio collision every delta frame based on his end position. We're splitting up his distance over time and checking collision every pixel, essentially. Like every pixel he's about to move, we check collision before we actually move him so that we actually get the appropriate collision, instead of triggering an accidental left collision just because we check if it's a left collision before top or vice versa. So I'll show you guys what that code looks like. I'll probably just merge it into the main branch here because it fixes everything on the mobile deployment, and that also means it fixes everything on a computer that would run slow, right? So like if your CPU's bogged down and your Love game is only running 40 FPS, the game shouldn't break. And what we changed made it so that it's more stable at lower resolutions, and it should be stable all the way down. I haven't tested it, but it should be stable to low resolution frame rates, right? So I think I want to go turn this off and see if our pushables or our baton touch is still jacked up rendering. Okay, That is so weird. I wasn't seeing this baton render on my other branch, even though I committed it. This is from my other machine, so I think I just want to test a couple of things like the bats and make sure the bats aren't broken, and then we can maybe start. Okay, our bats are here in this 112. I just want to see if the bats are working, and then we'll see. So the big things left for the game, right, is that we have to... Wow, I didn't see the first spitball, but maybe I just blinked. Yeah. Let's just make sure... you know what? Why is this not working? I can't start. Gotta fix that. We did change the input, so maybe we left it as something else. I just want to see that the collision is not wonky here, because we changed collision for collidable map objects. Okay, so let's take a look at what I did for that code. So the big thing I did was here in the scene. We've got this... I won't go over it in too big detail, but this is what took me 15 hours, right? So we update our player, so we get the movement, which could end up with us colliding with a wall, right? We're going to snag that new position. We're going to get the change in position from our old position to our new position. Then we do this step size, and we're dividing by step size here. Even though it's 1, we do a math.ceil, so we round it up so that we're splitting it up into velocity steps, right? So we say velocity x divided by our steps x is going to be our step velocity x. Then, and I don't know if any of this is reasonable. This is just what I got to get it working, right? We reset our player's position because we're about to add this velocity x and y if there's no collision. But we don't. If there is a collision, we don't want to move our player. So we have our collides with a map object function. We're cycling through, and if we do collide, we're going to trigger a horizontal collision on both the left and right. And we do this so that we only trigger the appropriate collision, right? So like if we have a left collision and not a top, then we'll just change the x position or the x velocity. So we cycle through our collidable objects, and then we use that horizontal or vertical collision to apply our step velocity to our player's x and y. Then we update our previous position. So this has got us working scaled down to like 30 FPS. So we don't have collision bugs with our tiny 4-pixel bounding boxes when we're at 30 FPS when we do a step collision like this. So there's still some issues, right? We're doing this in the scene. We have some logic where we're doing like this, the NPC to player object collision here. We're doing this in the scene right here. We should probably add this to the player's idle state, because if you take a look at all this stuff we did here, and this is a bigger point too, if we get spitballed, actually maybe we should try that. If we get spitballed into a wall, I don't think it'll have a collision on us because we're not in a walk state. So let's see, if we get spitballed into a wall here, I think our collision will break, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, it did lock us in. Okay, so there must be another check we're doing. There must be another check we're doing that that locks it in the idle state, so that's good. I'm gonna make sure that we've got our title screen state able to advance. which right now it is not able to. And then we'll get going. We'll have to start scripting the second opening cinematic so that we can actually get the game started, because we've got what, 3 weeks and some change to finish the demo. Yeah, I want to find the title state here. Okay. If input is pressed, start. Okay, so tab is start. Okay. I was pressing enter like it used to be, but I forgot we changed it to tab. Oh, we turned off Bitzer for the mobile deployment. Okay. So there's a lot of little stuff that I've got to remember for different builds, right? Since the Love.js deployment is using WebAssembly and we don't have access to the file directory when it's compiled into JavaScript, I don't know if it even gets compiled to JavaScript, actually. No, yeah, it is, because it's Love.js. We took that off, but now we should be able to save and load. Nice. Okay, cool. So we need to start adding the second cinematic here. So our first cinematic leaves us in this room, and maybe we'll just play it so that we can see where we left off, because it's been like 3 days of a blur trying to get that input detection working and the mobile deployment fixed. I was going feral over it because I should have, it wasn't on the list to get done this month, and we're in a crunch, so it was just not something I wanted to spend 3 days on. So at least it's done now. I'm fairly certain it's done. So yeah, it should be for the better, because once we finish the demo, we can just go and deploy it to the website, and we can make, we can either add little skips to the cinematic if people don't want to sit there and wait. Start button could skip the cinematic, or something like that. But it'd just be cool that when the demo's ready, I can deploy it and just send it to people and say, hey, here's a demo you can play on your phone right now. And then if you want to play the real deal, here's the Steam link too. So that would be really cool. Okay. We have this right here. Step 3 or step 1. So we'll go back to step 1 and we can load our cinematic. So here's the first cinematic. When you start a new game, Mage comes over here and rescues you. And then it fades to black. And then we have this little tutorial screen. We toss and turn in bed. And then we wake up. And then we have the controls here that we can see. And then once we go off, now we still have to fix this where I cannot open a collidable map object in a cinematic state, because right here we're in a cinematic state. When I change screens, now we're in the play state, so that the text is no longer rendering, and then we can open up and get our loot. So maybe we can either make it so that you can open things in a cinematic state, or we can maybe have Mage give us a key. It says like you've got a key to your trunk or something. I don't know. Maybe I think we'll just make it open, because then by the time you have your loot, you can come over here and read about the loot. And then, so basically we need to trigger the second cinematic upon 2 different things. Either when we walk out here, it needs to walk us out up here and then meet Mage, because he's gonna come. See, he's chilling right up here. He's gonna come down the stairs here. He's gonna come down the stairs here and then stop. So if we come down here, we need Tashio to come and walk up here and meet Mage as he walks down, or Tashio freezes, Mage walks down, and then Mage walks up and meets him, right? And then if we come up here, it'll stop us right here. It'll walk us back. It'll flip us forward, and then Mage will come down and talk to us. And then as Mage says his spiel, he's going to give us the first element of the game, Flamma, which is the red one. And then once he gives us that, Flamma, he's going to tell us, I don't know, he's going to tell us something like, I don't know, he's going to tell us something. And then we're going to script us walking out. And maybe we'll equip Flamma, or let people do it. I don't know. So yeah, we need this because this is the last part of the tutorial, last part of the opening cinematic, and then once we're out in the open, then we can focus on our dungeon design and hiding the green tunic and the tome, the first musical tome for your loot. So that's the goal. Hopefully today we can finish scripting for this secondary cinematics, and it needs to trigger on 2 different ones, so it might be 2 different cinematics because we have to move our player. Maybe we could tween our player. No, it's gonna look shitty. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. But let's get started. Now, I know 3 days ago, Squinch told us to check out coroutines in Lua for scripting events like this. I have been in a programming blur for the past 3 days, so I did not look into coroutines. And I don't think I'm going to get proficient with them enough to script this thing right now. So we'll just do it our old way right now because we're in crunch. And then moving forward, we can look more into the coroutines. I just don't have the energy to learn a new thing right now. And what we've got works. It just isn't super reusable, but that's okay. We don't need it to be reusable. We're just triggering these one-off cinematics here. So we'll worry about that a little later. So let's make a new cinematic here, and we'll call it mageIntro top trigger, because we have a mageIntro for both triggers, and they need to do different things. They need to move our character in a specific ways. So for this, we do need this definition of a state machine. So we'll say mageIntro top trigger is gonna get this class, and the class is gonna includes base state. I might have got that right. Who knows? mageIntro top trigger. So we need an init, and then a render and an update. So our update will get delta time, and this one is just called render. Okay. So we do trigger, like if we take a look at how we trigger our opening cinematic, we can see how we're doing it. We require it here, which we need to require this mage trigger mage intro top trigger. Okay. I want to see how we actually trigger it. We have to require it as a state machine, and then we must just change to the state machine, right? Opening cinematic. Once we hit Y, we're triggering to opening cinematic. We'll do that upon a fresh start of the game instead, but for right now we're toggling it with Y. Okay, so we do need to open this. We need to give us, yeah, and you know, I don't like the idea of building out all these different state machines, because if you think about all the cinematics we need, or the scripted events, it's potentially a ton. And I think that'll clog up the state machine. I don't exactly know, because it seems like the state machine's fairly like lightweight, but I really don't know. I've never tried doing a whole crap ton of them. So we'll require it as a mage open top trigger. Okay, so if it's the top trigger, we need to walk our character down, probably center him. I don't know. We can either tween or we can just manipulate based on some limits, right? So I'm gonna open up another window here, and we're gonna look up our opening cinematic so that we can kind of compare how to build this out. So, oops. We need to know what scene we're on, right, for this cinematic, because we need to insert mage as an NPC. He was already actually on there. He was actually on the screen above. So I think that was wrong, and we need to skip this now. We need to skip this. Let's do, actually, if we don't trigger, we can just print up one more thing here. In our spawn, we'll go back to the castle. Okay. Okay, so this is 1019, right? So we actually we had reference to this mage in our other one, but that's because we originally placed him here. So we're not actually using him in the opening cinematic, other than he's rendering on that scene as we can see him peeking. So I think what we need to do is just go here to the top trigger, and we just need to snag that same mage, because he's actually already in that scene. So we're just gonna call him mage because this is a new cinematic on the scene itself. You know, we're only gonna be able to trigger this from the 1019 scene. So whenever we trigger this, we've got access to that mage. Okay, and then just some debugging stuff, like we need the state name of this state machine. Okay. I don't think we need a ton of this stuff. We don't need animatables. There's no animatables here in the office. We do need to probably snag the original player X so that we can tween it to certain values. We might not need that. Maybe we just tween the global player. I don't exactly know just yet. Okay. What are we doing here? We're assigning the current map for the global scene. So we don't need to do that because our scene will trigger from the very scene that we're in. So we won't need to do that. And we don't need to insert animatables. We probably don't need to change most of this stuff. So we do need a step. We'll set the step 1. That's how we advance through our state machine here. We're gonna say, like, you know, step 1 is mage walks down the stairs. Step 2 is Tashio meets him. Step 3 is mage talks. Something like that. So let's just see. Let's just see if we can tween our value somewhere. So the other thing we've got to do, we've got to update all the scene logic, because when we go from our play state to our cinematic, we don't have, we lose our player update, we lose our scene view update, you know. So we have to do the scene view update here. We have to do the scene view update, otherwise our player won't update over time. So we definitely need that. And then we need, gosh, we gotta clean up our cinematic, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, then we're actually doing step logic. Okay, so let's see the render for the cinematic here. So we render our player, we render our particle systems, and another reason why it's pretty decent that we switch. You know, I'm still figuring out how to switch through the cinematics and what the best thing for that is, but there's some particle systems in the first cinematic, and we just don't need to be updating those once we're in the castle. So we could just clear them, but also it just bogs down the singular state, so it kind of made sense to me to pull it out into separate triggers. So we're snagging the animation from our current animation on our global player. That's what we're going to use to actually render us, because the inventory, the layer, is that, you know, we have to render the HUD because the HUD exists outside the scene. The scene actually scrolls when we do a scene transition. And then we have to render the element in our hand, which is separate from our player because it renders on top of them. But I'm not seeing where we're actually rendering the player. Gotta render our hearts. And this is something I'd like to, you know, turn into a function or something, so that we don't have to copy paste by paste like this. Where do we render our player? Would it be, we snag an anim, so where do we use the anim? We don't use it in the render at all. What up, Squinch? How's it going? So Squinch, I want to do the co-routines you're talking about. I just don't think I'm gonna swing it. I'm just trying not to do any new things right now when we're crunching to the end of the demo, because I'm feeling the crunch, and I just spent 3 days on doing non-essential stuff, right? Hey, I'm glad the cyclone chilled out, dude. That's good. That's very good. Yo, I don't even see where we're rendering the player here. We do render the scene, but the player is outside the scene, so I don't see where we're rendering him. Let's just try to trigger this let's try to trigger this mageIntro cinematic, and we'll see if it plays nice or just completely craps out. And then the first thing we'll do is try tweening the value, and then so I do want to look into it for this project, because as I'm building out these cinematics, I think, you know, it's looking like I'm going to need a different method. So I'm interested in trying it out, because once the demo's out, I'll have this nice little like period to be like, okay, what things do we need to change before we go full hog on this thing, you know? So I want to rehaul a couple of things, not a lot, but like it gives us a breather and a chance to be like, what really needs to change for future development, so that we can kind of tackle it before we run with level 2 or the first official biome, right? So we'll kind of take it one biome at a time, I think. So I'm just trying to find at this point where we trigger the opening cinematic. Right here. Okay. So I'm just going to test loading this new cinematic here, which we call mageIntro top trigger. Okay, let's see if we crash. I'm hoping we render our player. I'm hoping it looks fairly okay. Okay. We're not requiring it, or we're calling it the wrong thing. mageIntro top trigger. It's a global state machine. Just make sure we titled it right. mageIntro top trigger. Mage open. Yeah, we did that wrong. mageIntro. Okay, I hit T and it didn't change. We need to change our state to cinematic, I think, because our player should not be able to move. Intro top trigger. Let's make sure we called that right. Yeah, mageIntro top trigger. Okay. So yeah, we need to change our player's state here. I think we do that. Where do we do that in the opening cinematic? We do it right here in what? Oh, in the step 1, we change it. Okay. So yeah, we'll change our state and then just make sure that's working. Now, it does make sense that it loaded the wrong scene because we're not changing the scene, because when we actually trigger this thing, we're going to be in the right scene. So it made sense that it didn't break anything there. Or like, it did it wrong, but in a way that made sense. So I don't think it's broken. We just want to go in the update, and we're just going to do some stuff. If it's step 1, then we're just going to make sure and change our global player state to cinematic so that we cannot move. Our input cannot move our player. So that's the first step here. I gotta get the rendering off for our buttons here. So I just hit T and we lose movement for our player. So the question is, are we updating our player? I mean, we're rendering him. Gosh, did we move our player render into the scene? We must have. Yeah, I think we did move it. I just for looking purposes, we do render our player here. Entity render. Next map render. I don't see where we do it. Player render. Okay, yeah, we did move it to our scene. That's good. That's good. That's one step. Okay. Okay, so let's try. I'm still figuring out how to do this sort of stuff because I don't exactly remember how to do a timer tween, right? But we have an example. So if it's step 1, we're going to just test this thing out. And we're going to say tween our value over the course of 3 seconds. And what we're going to tween is our player. And we're going to take its x and make it equal to something. We're going to make its x, just as a test, we're going to just go x to 0, y to 0, and just see if we're in fact updating our we missed a we missed this thing. We're just going to see if this tweens us. So we'll go to the right room here. Okay, look at that. Over 3 seconds we tween, and then we stop. Okay, so we've got a tween. So this'll help maybe be the first step, right? So if this is an up trigger, then we trigger it on either the left or right side of the stairway, and we need to move where, right? So if mage is going to come out and be placed right, if mage is going to walk right down the middle of these tiles, he's going to come out here and he's going to walk right here, right in the middle of the balls. So then we should probably walk down to this one and then turn around. So the first step should be tween whatever we are to in between these two tiles and flush with here. And then once we do that, then we'll turn him facing forward. So we'll have to change the animation to the walk down animation. We'll have to tween to a very specific X value and Y value, and then we can turn him around. And at the same time, we can trigger mage walking in, or I don't know. We'll play around with that. But the first thing we want to do, let me go to our spawn, and we're gonna just make sure we spawn on the right frame. So 19, so we don't have to keep walking over every time. Okay, so if this is tile 2, this is tile 3, 4, 5. So this is the 5th tile, which is the tile size times 4. So we need to tween to a tile size times 4 plus 8 on an X. Tile size times 4 plus 8. So the 5th tile in plus half a tile size. Okay, and then the Y was what? The fifth tile size down? We'll see what tile size 5 is. I think it might be tile size times 6. So let's see if the tween's working here. So we're going to tween to that position. Oh my god, we did the wrong button there. Okay, too low. We want 2 tile sizes higher. Okay, so we tween to the center here. That's good, but we need to be in a walk down, right? So we do change animation. I want to say it's just walk down like that. Nice. So he walks down, which is the wrong direction here. It looks like, we're not centered. If the left side of us, let me think this through. We're 8 pixels wide. If we just go to I don't know. Because if we don't do the divided by 2, it's just one more tile size off, and then it's just like a whole tile size off. So it should be half a tile size, it just looks wrong. Okay, see, and that's, I think it's a little rough because I don't think the flame is actually touching the edge of the 16 pixel barrier. I don't think it is actually touching it. So I think this is right. I think the divide by 2 is actually right. It just doesn't look perfectly even because the flame isn't 16 pixels wide. Okay, so let's test it as if we were doing it for real, which is walking up here. So like if we walk up here and then we trigger it, it walks us down, and then it needs to trigger step 2 and face us up and go to idle, right? So there is a thing. I've got to look up the documentation for the tween. there's like a clear timer or clear tween thing. Timer dot clear. Okay. Okay. We have to do this timer clear. Do we do this after the tween? I don't know, because if we don't ever do that, it'll always want to tween. Well, I guess if we're in step 2, it won't. So once we finish that, let's just try to say self.step 2. Self step gets 2, and then we'll say, well, if we're in step 2, we want to do, we'll just change our animation to idle upwards, right? So let's see if it triggers and it doesn't get all tween stuck. And actually, let's just try, I just want to see if the tween is still applying. So I'm just going to say that our Y is going to get modified up by like 10 pixels and just see. I just want to see if the tween is still active. What the f is that, dude? You freaking mooned, man. What the f. Okay, I think we do need a timer clear here. Okay, if we timer clear, does it do a weird tween thing? God damn it, wrong button. Yeah, exactly, Squinch. He really did. Why does he? Oh, I mean, it's just because 10 pixels is way too much. That makes sense. That makes sense. That because we're doing it every step. Let's just say. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That was my bad. That wasn't the tween's fault. That was my fault. Okay. Well. Yeah. We want to do this. How do we do this? Because it's triggering step 2 right away. It's not waiting till the timer's finished. So. I guess we could. I mean, there's got to be a better way than this, but we can ask like. If the player's X is equal to the value that we're tweening it to, which we'd probably define as a variable just so we don't have to type that again, but we'd say if our player's at the tween value, then go ahead, advance it. So let's try that. We're gonna tween it. Stop. See, it moved us up and then it retweened us. So I think we do need this timer clear because I've had this issue in the past. It always wants to tween. I don't get why it's so tween happy. Okay, that's better. So like, it doesn't make sense to me that it's like we're not in step 1 anymore. We become step 2. Yet it still wants to tween this thing. It like exists outside of anything. I guess it's just how the library works. But as long as we clear it, and we have to clear it, I guess we would clear it here once upon actually reaching the tween location. And then yeah, we're gonna idle up. We're not going to change this, but we do need to trigger mage to come down at some point. So let's just see how it's looking if we trigger it proper, like walking up here. Yeah, I feel like we walk a little too fast too, but okay, so he walks down, he faces up. Okay. Are we... Okay, we're tweening, so we're not really manipulating by... we don't have to scale by delta time or anything. So this is looking okay. Maybe the tween can be 1.5 or something, a little faster. But we also need mage to walk down at about the same time, right? So if we're up here and we trigger it, perfect. So let's have mage walk down now. So we do have a mage which has an X and Y, and we are rendering the NPCs in the scene, so we should be able to see them because we're rendering our scene. So let's say if we're step 1, we're going to go to our mage and we're going to change the animation to walk down because he's walking down. And then we're going to tween his ass too. See, and now this is a little tricky because if we accidentally clear, I mean, I guess if the tween is the same duration, we can timer.clear it and it won't give an issue. Otherwise we have, well, yeah, whatever. We'll give it the same time. We'll give it a mage object and we'll say mage is going to be the same X, but only 1 tile size high. And we're going to see, we have to place him. We have to place him before we even do this. I guess we place him when we instantiate him in our declarations. So in a 1019 mage, we should have a mage in a 1019. Yeah, we have him here, and we insert him right here, 1019. So we'll give our Y. Look, we have our Y right 1 tile off screen, and then tile size times 3. So what we're gonna do is give him the same X that we're gonna eventually tween him to. So it's not really gonna change his X, but we're gonna do this times 4 plus tile size times 2. Let's do that. So that's times 4 plus half a tile. So when we get back to, come on, dude, mage declaration, we want our X to be this value here. Okay, so let's see if mage renders and walks on screen here upon the tween press. It hates us. It hates us. Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's money right there. Kind of like him shaking his ball at you, stomping his staff too. That's cool. Okay, let's see, because like now the move is we just need to trigger the step 1 upon a player movement and not, oh god, what did I just do? Oh, not on an XY. We need to clear the timer on the Y position, not the X position. We definitely need to do that. So in the event here, we need to clear this on a Y position, not the X, because the X could be a very little tween, but the Y is the bigger tween. Man, hour already, that's crazy. Nice. This is looking great. And then he'll spawn a dialogue box. Okay. We're making good progress. Let's try to trigger step 1 based on thanks, Merksu. Yeah, this is all thanks to Saltomanga. He did the official game art for the Steam release. I'm super, super happy with it. I just want to show it off a bit because it's always covered up. But yeah, it looks so good. And I love when it goes on the title screen, like Tashio just like this, and the mountain, the volcanoes in the back just like that. So like when the game's playing in the center, the title screen comes on and it's like overlapping. It's really cool. I'll take a quick break since it's ads and I'll be right back. Okay. So yeah, we want to trigger this step 1 based on a player position, right? So we'll init our step to 0, and in our update we'll ask if our player's Y is smaller than the top tile. So if we encroach on that first tile from the top, then we will trigger a step 1. So now it shouldn't be tethered to us pressing T, but rather us walking up, trying to go into Mage's office. Well, that didn't work. We need to, if it is greater than, yeah, we need it smaller than. Okay, still busted. If our players Y, we're going to advance our step 1, but we're not actually changing to this state. So we need a way to trigger this from the scene and not in the state machine, right? So we could, well, like, you know, we could change to this cinematic area once we move into this scene and then listen for this update. Because one thing I'm trying to avoid is just I'm trying to just avoid any cinematic logic within the scene state update. Right now we're triggering it based on a button press, which isn't the move, you know? So yeah, I don't want to say in our scene update, hey, if our current scene is equal to this and our Y position is this, then go ahead and trigger this state machine change. I don't want to do that. So part of me thinks part of me is kind of thinking that, like, we need to add the string name of a state machine into the scene itself. And if by the time we're doing a scene transition, if that scene has a cinematic string name, but then we also have two different options. You know, we have a top trigger and a bottom trigger, so we don't know which one to change into. So this, I don't know how we would do this. Yeah, I don't want to do it in the scene, but also we need to, I don't know. We have an event dispatch, right? But we would have to put that event dispatch based on the scene name. I mean, I guess we could just say, no, I don't like that idea. Yeah, because it's like, if you blow that up idea to scale, then our scene's just going to be full of a bunch. Well, like, oh, well, is it this scene, and are we reaching the conditions to change to that scene? It's just weird. Okay, let's not worry about this just yet. Yeah, we won't worry about this just yet. I'll have to do some thinking about how to trigger that better. But if we're up here... Okay, so that's the first step. We walk to place. So the next step is he's going to talk to us. So let's get a dialog box populated and put into this scene, and then trigger the dialog box to update. Now that is kind of a lot of stuff. I mean, we do have, if we look at our declarations, we just need to give a dialog box to, oh, actually we already have the dialog box in the correct spot. So let's just see how we trigger the dialog box in the first cinematic. You know, we have to, what do? We flush our active dialog ID, which is probably necessary. Active dialog ID is how our scene knows which dialogue in the scene to update. And then we've got this event listener. This is our old thing. Okay, so look, we have to set our active dialog ID upon a step, and then flush text. Count the button as being pressed, because our button gets triggered once it's pressed, you know, our dialog button. So that's the code for that. So that's, then we have a finished printing. Okay. So we're just going to kind of do the same thing where we're, you know, we only have the active dialog ID is 1 because it's the only one that's in there. And then we did not harpoon this yet. Okay. So we're going to say if we're in step 3, oops, we're going to set our active dialog ID to 1 and then flush text. So our scene, I believe, updates any dialog object if there is an active dialog ID. So if that's 1, we should be seeing the dialog ID. So let's just flush this to 0 or flush it to nil. We're going to say, well, the current scene's active dialog ID is going to get flushed here to nil so that we don't accidentally render it when we trigger. So we walk up here, we trigger it, nothing. Now we should be in a step 3 because after step 2 we just advance right up to step 3. So if we are idle up, we're probably, oh, self.step 3. Okay. We've got a dialog box, no dialogue. So we are we not rendering it? We render our scene. Let's take a look. We do render a dialog ID if it's not nil. So that might be what helps us here. And we are on a 10:19. So we're saying, well, if our current scene, you know, we should put our current scene right there, I think. If our current scene's dialog box active dialog ID does not equal nil, then go ahead and render the dialog box that's in that active dialog ID index. Okay, not working. We need to update it, which yeah, we need to update it right here. So we're doing the same thing. If there is one to update, we're gonna go ahead. I mean, this is bad, man. We gotta keep advancing these steps so that we don't do things more than once. Okay. We're going to update our active dialogue ID. Okay. Nice. Oh, it's the wrong dialogue. Oh, yeah, it's the wrong because we actually have like 10 dialogue boxes in here. So that makes sense why that's wrong. So when we do this declaration, let's see here. Yeah, when we do this declaration, we have to give a dialogue ID and we're putting it as 1. That's incorrect. I wish I had a better way than hard coding in the index, but if you look at the dialog box on 1019, do we not? Oh, here. This is the last one. This is 12, so this will be our 13th dialog box on this scene. So like we give it an index so that we know exactly which dialog box to trigger. So we gave it 13, and then in our top trigger, we need to set the active one to be this 13. So I mean, I don't know of a good way to do that just yet. So we've got it kind of hard coded, but this should be, yes, are you okay? You don't remember anything. There's much to relearn, but take it slow. Meet me at the library when you are ready. That's the old dialogue. So what we need to do, he's going to walk up to us and do the, it's dangerous to go alone, take this, and give us Flamma. And we're going to do the show off animation, hold up Flamma. And then it's going to say, you can equip this in your inventory menu or whatever. And then he might say one more thing to us. I don't exactly know, but it's getting there, right? What's bugging me is we are still rendering this touch detection. That isn't right just yet, so I just want to make sure. And you know what? That actually gives me worry. I think I did the baton input incorrect because of those boxes that we're rendering. Yeah, right here we're rendering touch detection on all of our X, Y, width, and height of all of our touch detection objects. I mean, yeah, I think it is wrong. But for right now, I'm just going to turn this off because it's bugging me, and then we'll work on fixing that later. Okay, so we need to give slightly new dialogue, right? So he's going to say, yeah, he's going to say, meet me at the library when you're ready. Not anymore. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that was a good movie. I like that movie. He does got a little... He's got like a little guitar, doesn't he? Yeah, he's got a sitar, or what is that? Yeah, I gotta watch that movie again. That was good. Yeah, he's got a little like sitar, it looks like. That's cool. Yeah, oh, he's got the bun too. Heck yeah. Definitely. That was a good little movie. Yeah, that's a good movie. I haven't seen it since it came out. I should watch it again. I love that studio. There's much to relearn, but take it slow. Okay. Then he should walk up to us and say, you have to be careful with this, but you'll be needing it. And then he'll give us Flamma, something like that. So we're going to insert another dialog box, and it's going to say something along those lines. It's going to say, This can be dangerous if you're careless, maybe. But you will need it. I don't want to say your mission or anything. Oh, shamisen. Okay. Is that what Lady Orin has in Sekiro? Is that her name? Orin of the Forest or Orin of the River? What's her name? Does she have that? She plays a music thing, right? Oh, look at instrument. Yeah, shamisen. Yeah. Man, okay, yeah, that chick's cool. That's cool. Okay, this can be dangerous if you're careless, but you will need it for spelunking. You'll need it for doing your taxes. Yeah, so we'll just try to trigger that. So we need to set a new active dialogue ID to 14 once we get rid of this dialogue. So we in our step 3 or in our step 4, we're going to do this thing where we're going to say, you know, if this dialogue box has finished typing, what is it called? Finished typing. Something like that. Finished printing, that's what I'm looking for. If the dialog box at index 1 has finished printing, something like that. So yeah, if the dialogue, yeah, and it should be at active dialogue ID. So finish printing. Then we want to advance the step. Okay, and then our next step is gonna move us closer to Tashio. So if our step is equal to 5. Now our mage is still in a walk down, so we should just be able to do another little tween to one value below us. Close the gap here. So we're gonna say, now we're gonna tween mage, and it's only gonna be his Y. And we're gonna change it to one tile above where Tashio was, which was tile size 3. So tile size 2 is where we tween him. We're gonna tween him over 1 second and just see what that looks like. And then we need to do this timer clear. So if our mage's Y position is at the endpoint, which is a Y of tile size times 2, then we're gonna go ahead and flush that timer. Okay. And then we're going to advance our step. Yeah, there's got to be a better way of doing this. Okay. And then if we're on this next step, we're going to basically start our next dialogue, right? So we're going to end one dialogue, and then he's going to take a step closer to us, and then we're going to trigger the next dialogue, which is it can be dangerous if you're careless. So we assign the dialogue, we flush the text, we step it. Damn, dude. So we set the active dialogue, which is gonna be 14, right? Yeah, it's 14. Good thing we checked it. And then active dialog box is 14, and we're here. We flush our text, increment our step. And then when we update our step, we just need to do our dialog update. We're going to say we're going to update our new active dialog and then advance our step if it's at the end of it. So let's just see how bad we did here. All right, are you okay? You don't remember anything? There's much to relearn, but take it slow. Shit. How did we screw that up? That's not where I thought it would mess up. That is not where I thought it would mess up, because we had that working. What the hell? 46, we're crashing. What? Finish printing doesn't work. Okay, that was wrong. Fuck. Why is this breaking it? We had it working. We had the dialog box closing fine. And now it's broke. What the what did we change, man? Oh, we do add a double space there, which is incorrect. But sometimes it crashes if we don't do the but take it slow. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now is the double printing work? Okay, we need this. Are we flushing our active ID for the dialog box here? Because here, oh yeah, we do this, right? We set it, we flush, reset the button count. Are we doing that for this next one? Yeah, we are. Yeah, and active dialog ID should be 14, right? Yeah. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I mean, totally wrong. Let's try to just print up our step and see what step we're getting stuck on. Because we're not tweening. Probably because the timer clear, right? Timer clear probably offsets. Yeah, I feel like timer is kind of global, I think, because it updates regardless of conditions. So I think we might have to clear by group and set a specific group. So let's just do this where we say step. Step 4, and then we don't advance to step 5. So our step 5 is getting hung up. We don't advance to step 5. Why? Oh, we turn this off. Son of a... Let's try it again. You know, the big grayed out code. Okay, we still don't advance. So this finished printing is just not working. It's not necessarily scene view active ID. Well, yeah, we do change it for the scene. Okay. Active ID. So if as long as it's not nil, if it's finished printing. So when do we do the finished printing for a dialog box? It's just when we advance the page past its last page, right? Finished printing gets true if we hit the action button. Yeah, and our current page is equal to our page length. Okay, what if we do this like first thing? I don't see why that would fix anything. But finished printing is just not getting set true on that dialog box apparently. Oh, see, look. Oh! Ah! He kind of did it. Why did that? Oh, here. Okay, if we become finished printing right away. So our finished printing is just not triggering correct. He did the thing, though. Just at the wrong time. See, he's not advancing. Yeah, our finished printing is just not working. Now we might have to do this before we update the dialog box, because we nullify the active dialog ID once we become finished printing. So I think we might have to check this first. Yeah, to see if we're finished printing before we update, because, well, I don't know. Let's see. Nope. Okay. How do we do in the opening cinematic? Well, we switch to a step 4. We do this first. We check if it's finished printing and we advance the step, and then we check. Yeah, so that was the right order, actually. Yeah, so we check if it's finished printing. Now we're doing it at dialog box ID 1, but active dialog ID is more correct. Yeah, because the one we're updating. So we set our active dialog ID here. We flush the text. We reset the A button. We advance the step. Then on the next step, we ask if Not the scene view active dialogue ID is nil. Let's get rid of this. We're going to ask if the global dialog box at index active dialog ID is dot finish printing. Finished printing. Then we advance a step to 5. So we advance the step, but also in that current step, we need to update our active dialog ID. Yeah. Okay, I mean, this is what we had other than the nil check, but I don't know, we were crashing without that nil check. Yeah. Attempt to index a nil value. So when we hit space, it crashed on what, 43? Yeah, so when we update, it nils the active dialog ID. So why did the other time we do this work? Because once the active dialog ID is nilled, we then try to, well, it does have, actually, yeah, if we hard code the 13, then even when we nil the ID, it won't crash there. I don't know if that'll fix it, but just a little sloppy. Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, shit. It was close. He did the step. He did the step, and then our new dialog box got jacked up. Probably because we set a step 4 and not a step 7 here. So let's try that. Okay, so if we walk up here, and then it'll trigger Mage coming out, and he says, "Are you okay?" He's going to say something like, "I'm glad you're okay. There's much to relearn, but take it slow." He takes a step closer, and he says, "This can be dangerous if you're careless, but you will need it for for doing your taxes." Okay, yeah. And then we need to just not crash there. I legit forgot I put that in there. That was funny. Yeah, we just need to see. When we declare, I think we just have a wrong ending here. Yeah, see, we have a double space. Why do we keep doing that? Okay. You'll need it for doing your taxes. And then let's just try that. That's looking sweet though. Great. So we just need to advance. I don't like how we're doing this, but we need to check this first. We need to say if the 14 has finished printing, we advance our step. Otherwise, just update it. So this should just stop rendering the box, but keep everything else rendering. It shouldn't crash here. So this can be dangerous if you're careless, but you'll need it for doing taxes. Great. Okay, so at this point, we need to be given Flamma. So we need to turn into the animation show off and then give it. We have this for coin, right? So we have. How do we render the show off? Is just show off animation is like just an animation we can change to. Oh, see, we have a show off item in a treasure chest. So we'd have to adapt it a little bit. You know, this is all we're doing is at a treasure X and a treasure Y. So this is the treasure X, treasure Y. We've got, it depends on the shape of the thing we're showing off. So let's just try to add it here. And this is one reason I like the state machine, because it's like we can dump some unnecessary, you know, we don't have to build out a special code for this because it's not going to be bogging down any other cinematic. It's just this one thing. So I kind of like it for this reason. But if we're a step 8, then we want to change our player's animation to the show off animation. Is that right? Yeah, change animation, show off, and then we need to assign a treasure X. You know, that's just what I call it. And then we need to import the image of the Flama drawable, which right now it's just in the map, the global master sheet, but we need to have it as its own like singular image. And then if show off is true, we need to just render Flama at the correct location. So we're just gonna say, yeah, we're gonna put our treasure declarations here. Actually, yeah, we can initialize to 0, but if it's a step 8, we assign them here. So we're just gonna say we have a treasure X and a treasure Y that we're going to assign based on our current player's position. Now we need to make sure we have our Flama here exported. So too big. Okay, there it is. We will save this as a PNG in our graphics, and it'll just be called Flama standalone. Cool. Whatever. Okay, Flama in our graphics. Yo, I've been exporting this in the wrong spot so many times lately. I'm just going to make sure it's in there. It is in there. Okay. So let's try to import it. I guess we can either import it as a global or just in the init for our top intro trigger. But we're going to need it globally, so might as well do it global now. So let's do it here. Flama's gonna get a new image of the one we just exported. It's gonna be PNG or like that. Okay, we have it global. So now in our intro top trigger, we need a show off field. Initialize to false. And then when we're in a step whatever, right here, you know, if we advance and we become a self step 8, we need to also become show off true. Now we set a treasure X and an animation, change our player's animation to show off, and then in our render, if we're in the show off true, then we want to render Flamma. So we'll draw Flamma global at our treasure X and Y. Okay, let's see if show off works. Yeah. Why is it so big? That's not the right one. That's not the right one, but show off worked, man. Look at him. Yeah, it's way too big. Yo, Soup. Soup, thank you for the gift sub, homie. That's very nice of you. Now Merksu can continue his emote addiction. Yeah, we've got... Yeah, that's way too big. That is not the right size. I'm kind of liking the medium-sized one, but it doesn't fit. I'm thinking about... Oh yeah, what mod are you doing? Oh, I haven't checked. Okay, I'll check. I'll check later. Yeah, don't apologize for that. I'll check it out. Yeah, it's just too big. We need the real Flamma resolution, which is from the Atlas, not this one. I didn't realize this was the bigger one. We really need this one. That's what we need. It's a 10 by 10. I think that was a 16 by 16, the other one. You know what? We might want a little black outline on it, actually. Probably not. Yeah, it looks like a square when you do that. Okay, we'll just export this over our Flamma PNG and then we'll see how it's looking. Yo, Soup, you're up late. Because I know it's even late for me. I feel like it's late, so I know it's late for you. Okay. So here's the Mage's library, and we're triggering this new cinematic here where he's talking to us. And then this can be dangerous if you're careless, but you'll need it for doing your taxes. Okay, way too high. So we need to shift the Y upwards, X left maybe 2 pixels. Left maybe 2 pixels, and then down maybe quite a bit. Hopefully it was good coffee, dude. I can drink a pot of coffee and go right to bed, man. I don't know what's wrong with me. It doesn't do anything for me. I just like it. I like the taste. Okay, a little to the right, a little up. Shit, man. What I really want to start doing is rendering. I guess it doesn't make that much of a difference. I was going to say render a certain thing like the... Oh, nice. Oh, cool. I didn't realize you could do long dark mods. That's really cool. That should be fun. I want to see what you guys cooked up. Some C#. All right, let's go. I haven't done C# since I did a Unity tutorial like 5 years ago. Got a little box jumping. God damn, still too low. Still too low. I kind of want to set... I want to set like... I don't think this will be possible. Like I want to set like everything kind of goes dark, like a vignette around him, right? So it kind of just like highlights what he's holding up. Because it's hard to see... Yeah, it's just a little hard to see. It should be scooted up a bit more. But I want to, I want to render... I don't know how I would do this. I could do it with like a shader or something, I think, but... You know, if we can like invert a circle from the love.draw or love.circle and kind of do like a faded vignette, so it looks almost like a... I don't know, that's probably too much. I just think it's... I want to kind of draw your attention to Llama, you know? So like... That's cool. It's just... You know, it's right in front of Mage, which makes it harder to see. He could walk forward and then hold it up and then walk back. It's a little strange. Yo, it's pretty close to Professor Oak's lab. You just don't get to pick your starter. He gives you a... Oh, yeah. So Squinge, I like that. The issue that I feel like I can't solve though is that thing kind of needs to be, like you said, behind it, right? It needs to be behind the element, behind the player, but in front of the NPC and in front of the scene. And that means it needs to exist in the scene layer. And we don't really have a good way to access the scene layer without just dumping the logic in that scene layer. I mean, I guess, you know, I guess we could have like a... We could have a toggle of like a vignette in the scene. Cause yeah, it's missing something. I mean, like it's either he shouldn't walk up close to us, or Tashio should walk down before he like shows it off, because it's just covering Mage, and it doesn't look very readable. Okay, let's try to not scoot Mage down and see how that looks. So in this, what is it? When we tween Mage to come lower, let's just say we don't really do that. And we just clear our tween. It'll be messy, but I just want to see. It should look a little... Yo, Soup, you're making me want to put Pokemon in the game now. I guess Jimmy's kind of a Pokemon in the game. So he shouldn't walk close to us. Okay, cool. And then it triggers the next one. You'll need it for doing your taxes. See, I don't know. I don't like that he's so far from us when he gives it to us. The other thing I'm kind of thinking is like we can trigger, like if we Like, I'm thinking like an extra little... Like, if we imagine we keep the distance like this, or Mage gets a little bit closer, or... Okay, so maybe what he does is he does this second dialogue, and then he walks close to us, and then backs up, and then... Oh yeah, you like him being further? Because I'm like, I just want it to be apparent that he gives it to us, right? So I'm kind of thinking that he steps up, and then he walks back, and then we hold it up. But I'm also kind of thinking like we might, maybe, you know, maybe we can do something like, maybe this could be our chance to like add in. I'm kind of wanting to toy around with the idea of like adding in higher, not higher resolution, but higher fidelity images. So like, because Salto did such a good job on this, like look how cool that looks. If we can pull this, like what are the, this is a 112 by 112. So like, I want to see what this looks like in the game, and we can do like a dark background and this as a sort of like, you got your first element or whatever. We can render a dialog box too, but I just want to see what this looks like at this resolution in the game and see if it throws me off or not, because there's a lot of colors in there, right? It doesn't feel so Game Boy-y, but it could look cool. And Salto did such cool work on the actual orbs. I want to kind of show them off. Yeah, so Salto made the orb that Mage is holding in the background, and then I kind of photoshopped the colors in to be the colors that I thought I needed. So this is a 112. Oh, that's actually the emote size. That's okay. I mean, let's see how big it is, because I don't think we need any bigger than that. So those are our actual emotes right there, right here. Let's see. Yeah. Let's export this into graphics. We'll call it, yeah, why don't we call it Flama 112? Flama 112 PNG, cool. Yo, nice balls. Can we get balls in chat? I don't want that becoming a thing. Yo, Rough Cookie, thank you. Yo, thanks, homie. As soon as we mention balls, Rough Cookie comes running. Yeah, exactly. I should have known. It's like one of those dog whistles, where it's like, it goes over some people's heads, but dogs like can't ignore it, you know? Okay, yeah, I want to see what this looks like. So if we're in the step that we're giving the element here, we're going to try to darken the screen a bit, right? With like a half opacity, black. And then we can render Flama on top. So I'm hoping that, you know, it'll show him doing the show off, but then it'll show the higher def Flama, and we'll see what it looks like here. So once show off is true, that's a step 7, and step 7 or show off is true triggers a step 8. So right here, step 8. So if there's a show off, we want to also render our higher resolution Flama, but we also want to draw, you know, we want to draw our character, then we want to draw our old Flama, then on top of everything, we want to set a semi-transparent black. Let's do maybe 200. Let's maybe try 150 on the opacity. So 0 for the RGB and then maybe 150 for the opacity. And as we set that color, we're gonna then draw a rectangle the size of our screen. Type is fill, X and Y, width and height of a 0, 0, and a virtual width and a virtual height. And then we need to render Flamma 112. So we're going to say graphics.draw. And it's going to be the drawable of our global Flamma 112, and we'll put it, you know, if it's 112, our 160 by 144, so that gives us like a, you know, we can say if we take the width, which is 160, we subtract Flamma 112, that would give us, yeah, we'd want to divide that by 2, right? I mean, let's just do it right there for now, and we'll say 144 minus Flamma 112 just to see what it looks like. Drawable X, Y. Okay, let's see if we did any of that right. Son of a bitch. Flamma 112. Attempt to perform arithmetic. Oh yeah, because it's not. Yeah, that's not a width. That's a drawable. Oh, that is a drawable. This needs to be arithmetic. Yo, I can't wait to see what mods you guys been cooking up. I know I think I missed this stream yesterday. You did. I was very stressed out yesterday, but we're doing better. Shit, that is not right. Okay, it got the vignette. It didn't get the right, you know, we're drawing it. Yeah, we need to draw this at pure white, so we forgot to reset this. Oh no. Yeah, I want to. Do you post your VODs? I haven't checked. I'm gonna check out your VOD if you put it up there. You made a doc like a document? Or like an actual documentary? Okay, yeah, here, I'll check them out. I did want to check it out yesterday. I've got a day off tomorrow, finally, so I'll have some time to just chill. Okay, this is it. We're going to see Flamma on screen. It's way too big, but it is interesting. I just want to see if it, like, totally throws the aesthetic. Whoa. Yeah, that's huge. Oh, nice. Cool. It's too... I mean, this is Game Boy resolution, right? Because it's stretched to a virtual resolution. So this is technically Game Boy resolution. Just looks too... doesn't look Game Boy. Okay. Well, we tried it. I don't think... Well... I don't know. It's just too big. Let me see if we can scale it down a bit and see if it looks a bit better. I'm gonna have to call it soon. I can't keep my eyes open. X, Y, R. So rotation, then scale X, scale Y. So let's try to scale it down a bit. Yo, Soup. Them that big ball action, homie. Exactly, dude. This guy gets it. Yeah, we're gonna need to scale it down. That's a bit excessive. Okay, let's try 0 rotation and then 0.5 on the scale. Because I want to be able to put like a dialog box under it, right? So... yeah, is it called a power-up or something? I think it's called a power-up with bits. And there's like a couple different versions you can do. Oh, did I? I didn't even touch them. Are they high? Yo, let me know what they should be. I didn't... Oh. I was like, dude, I don't know. I didn't even touch them. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I think he made... yeah, he made them like six grand or something. 6 grand bits. Okay. You know what? I'm not hating that. You know, like I'm kind of wanting... I kind of like it. Like if we imagine like a different optional dialog box that goes underneath it that says like, this is, I don't know, this harness is whatever. Like, because if you interact with Flamma before this triggers, you can read a little bit about it, but I don't know. Yeah, Soup, I do remember seeing that one time. I went to do like a big cookie, and then it was just so much money. Yeah. So I'm wondering if there's like, maybe we can scoot. Yeah, if we scoot this over a bit, and then I'm thinking we can have like a special dialog box that doesn't have the border. So like, this just like, it still shows us the show off, and then it also shows like a little bit higher resolution of what it is. I don't know. I'm kind of... I don't know. I think it's weirding me out because you'll like never see this in a Game Boy game. You never see where like the background goes half opacity and stuff renders on top of it, right? So it's like, I don't know if I like this. Yeah, we might... I don't know. It's just weird. I think it's just weirding me out. Yeah, I kind of want to try the vignette and not have the big ball action in there. You know? If you got it, you don't need to flaunt it, you know? So maybe we just try the vignette idea. But I don't know, it'd be nice. Yes. See, and that's the way I want to do it. That's the way I want to do it. So that means we'd have to add it. We'd have to add it in the scene. So we'd have to have a vignette option. But I think that's a great idea. I think that's the way to go about it. So let's still draw our show off item. And then, oh, but this is actually, no, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. We just need to add it to our scene. Yeah, we can add, so it would be after the, I like that rough cookie. I think that will really help show things off, especially when you get the loot. It's like above your treasure chest and your bed, and those are both brown things, and the loot is brown, so it'll help distinguish what you've got and kind of draw your eye to it. So I think that is a good way to go about it. So let's do, in our scene, in our render, when, you know, it'd be after we render our map. So we're rendering, yeah, it'd be what, before we render our player, we want to do this vignette. So the scene here, we render our current map and our next map. So it would be right here before we render our player, and our show off renders above our scene, so this should work. So let's do this. We can call it cookieVignette. And all the real homies who are here will know why it's cookieVignette. And all the people looking through the source code are like, is that like cuz it's a you know, that like they call in the movie industry, they call cookies things to like block light in certain shapes, right? So like if they're faking like shades on someone's eyes or something, they put a cookie of shades in front of a light so that it projects the shadow on there. So cookieVignette makes perfect sense to me. So if we're in cookieVignette, we actually want to render this actually before we render our scene, right? We want to set, it's actually in our map. Oh shoot, man. It depends if we set it in our map, because we're rendering our map in our scene. So in our current map, we might have to add the cookieVignette to the map. It depends. If we don't change our color, we do change our color here at least. Where do we actually render the map tiles? We do it here. We don't change our color. Oh yeah, we do. Shoot. Okay. So I think before we render these base tiles, we have to check if our map is in a cookieVignette, and then we'd have to change our current map to be cookieVignette if we're in a show off in our cinematic state. So we do above ground tiles. Yeah, the only thing that wouldn't, a spellcast entity would be above a cookie map, you know, but I'm planning on disabling spellcasting, at least in these cinematic triggers. So we shouldn't have them on screen here. So let's try this. Let's do if it's a cookieVignette, we're gonna set our color to be that pure black, so 0, 0, 0, and maybe like a 150 out of 255. For the alpha, if we're not in a cookieVignette, we're pure white. Okay. So we're setting based on cookieVignette. So let's get cookieVignette is false by default. So we need to just go into, actually, and we can test this and see if it's doing what we're wanting it to be by default, adding it to true. And, oh shit. Cookie. Oh no. I mean, it is cool. It is cool. There is a dungeon in the game that's going to be dark like this. Not what I was wanting. It's just like it's all black. We want it to be, I guess we want it to be not all black. We just want it to be transparent a little bit. But this is also, we need it for the top level tiles too. Shit. cookieVignette needs to apply to the top level tiles too, which are outside of our map. They're in our global. Okay. So cookieVignette might have to be a global for it to be easier. Let's change this value to a global. Or, enum here. Okay, so we need to do this cookieVignette for a map, a top level tile map. No, it just gets, like you're telling it out of 8 bits of color that the alpha channel is 155 of 255 bits. So it just gets, I don't know how it's implemented, but I don't think it might treat it as an int. I don't know. I sorry, I really don't know. But it's just you can give the set color either 0 through 1 for either 0 of 255 or 255 of 255, or divide by 255 for the exact color you want to give. It was fully black, yeah. That kind of confused me. I don't know why it did that. I was not expecting that. We should have a top level tile render somewhere. It's in our scene. Okay, so if we're going to render our top level tiles, we have to also... Gosh, man. Let's try cookieVignette on our top level tile. Now, in our cinematic here, actually, yeah, we if we define cookieVignette to be true from the get-go, we can see how jacked up it is. So if it's not jacked up, we might be good. Our top level tiles are still rendering weird. Really weird. But we're bright. You know, we're bright. Collidable map objects are bright, which... Fuck. Oh, man. Yeah, this isn't as straightforward as I thought it was going to be. Let's see. Maybe at the top of our scene we do... Because, yeah, we render our current map and next map. Then we're going to render our player. So, yeah, we want to do a cookie vignette here before our current map. And then probably reset color to white, which we do. Let's see. That's still jacked up. We're, you know, top level tiles are like half transparent. Yeah, it'd be nice to... Man, that looks really cool. I like the light, like at nighttime. That looks cool. Well, top level tiles are still the wrong color. If we do it right there, we also need the what the heck, dude? Are we doing top level tile renders anywhere else? Yeah. In the scene for the next map? Okay, that shouldn't matter. Okay. Wow, we're really only doing it here though. Oh, we set the color right here. Okay, let's not do that. We gotta set our color to cookie. Okay, and then if it's still giving us much problems, like if it's too hard to put in the collidable map objects based on this, oh my gosh, yeah, I don't know, I might give up on this. But also, oh my gosh, yeah, look at how transparent we are. So it's setting the transparency and not setting the color. We need to set a color of a rectangle to go over it, not the actual color. So we need to do this like, yeah, we need to do the rectangle here. Yeah, we do need, yeah, we need black. Yeah, okay, I think we do need black. Let's try this for the top level tiles, because I think we do want to set white for rendering it, but we want to render... Shit. No, yeah, we want to render this after. So it darkens. But this will darken everything if we have this... Oh, man. Yeah, we only want this once, and it's after everything is rendered. So I think we don't want this more than once, and we want it kind of after everything other than our player. Shoot, man, how do we do this? Because if our player's rendering here, so we can manually set our player. Oh man, shoot. Yeah, because our top level tiles have to render above our player. But in order to render the top level tiles dark, they have to, we're going to be rendering a semi-transparent black rectangle over our top level tiles. So we can't just like do a whole square the whole size of the screen. We'd have to do it exactly where the tile is. So let's try to do, we're going to do a rectangle, and it's not, you know, it's going to be after we draw the actual tile, we want to draw our vignette right over it. So it's going to be this X and Y right here. Yeah. So we're going to render our top level tile, and then we're going to render a fade right on top of it. But I think this needs to be a black color, not a white color. Let's see how jacked up it looks over here. Yeah. Okay. Where's our other cookie render? Yeah, we don't want to do this, I don't think. Yeah, we need a black for a cookie vignette. That looks so bad. Wow. That is just so weird. Is that the only place for modifying it? Like if we just don't do this rectangle? Okay, it is jacked up. So it's our other cookie that's screwing us. So there's one in the scene, that's the one we're currently doing. And then there's one here in the map render. Let's just turn this one off for now. I think this is a good idea. I want to see if we can pan it out. Okay, so our cookie vignette's off. Now, we're just trying to get the cookie vignette on the top level tiles and see if that even works. Yeah, see why that is so jacked up. So, it's not that we want to draw. Yeah, oh, the X and Y. Okay, well we know, oh yeah, X and Y needs to be these values. Width and height need to be 16. Okay. So that looks like it took everything down, and our player too. This is supposed to only be on the top level tile. Because right here, render top level tiles, we're going to draw the tile. Then we're supposed to draw this over the thing we just inserted it at, which is, yeah, an X and a Y. Okay. if the tile is not equal to 75. What? What? Not equal to 75? What the heck is 75? $75 is like this empty tile. So if we don't draw a tile, it's an empty tile. So we're saying if the tile is a drawn tile, we're gonna draw this X and Y isn't a it is so strange. It is very strange. Like, why not just bang equals? Why not? Like, who said you should do that? I also wish, I wish plus plus was in Lua. I would really like that. I'm sure there's a reason not to, but whatever. Yeah, this X is actually the index of the tile, but not the location of the tile. Right? Oh, no, it is the location. What the heck? This should be right. It's just that if it's not 75, so it's like we're only cycling through the top level tiles. So there should only be like 3 tiles in here, or 2 tiles in our cinematic scene, and we're saying, well, if it is a tile and it wasn't just not drawn on the top level, then we're gonna say that we want to draw a rectangle at the X and Y of whatever the position of... I'm trying to think of what it is in plus plus. Oh, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, plus equals, yeah. I do like that. That does make a lot of sense. And the kind of the same, like, is there a equality operator that makes more sense than equals equals? Or because I think that's kind of confusing for a lot of newcomers, I think, is assignment versus equality. So I'm kind of thinking if there was like a better equality or assignment that makes more sense. I mean, I feel like programmers are so locked in that they're probably not going to like any change. But who knows? I mean, yeah, plus equals makes a lot of sense. Man, this is just really weird. Yeah, okay, so the 2D array of this top level tile is like... Actually, yeah, because it's the map width and map height. So there's a tile ID at every index. So like, yeah, we're converting the index of the map row and map height to be the actual tile location. I don't get why it's coloring everything. Because we should only be coloring a rectangular filled hole wherever there is a top level tile. I don't get why it's not doing that. Yeah. Because, yeah, our tiles don't actually have, like, X positions assigned to them. It's just a table of 80 tiles. Actually, well, maybe not, because this is a 2D array. see, look at, we're snagging the tile. We're snagging the tile from the given YX. We're checking the tile ID. The tile does not have an X or Y. Yeah, the tile is literally just the ID of whatever we drew. But then when we go to draw something, we take the Y, the X and the Y. I don't know how to do this. Because like oh god, just to test, like what if we were to just do, for a test, just to see if it's really screwing up every X and Y tile, if we just draw a cookie vignette on the second tile, 1616. Okay. Yeah. Why is it completely black? It's stacking them. Yeah, you're right. It is stacking them. Because, yeah, if we do one... Yeah, because we are cycling through... Yeah, we are cycling through all the top level tiles. Okay. Yeah, you're right. So that's why we got the appropriate, we got the appropriate opacity when we cycled through here, but it just went and did it on every single one of them. But it should have only done it on ones that weren't empty. But most of the tiles, the tile ID is equal to 75 on most of these top level tiles, so I don't get why it's drawing them for every single one of them. Yeah, every empty tile by default exports. Actually, you know what? I think, yeah, I don't think I manually put 75 on there now that I think about it. Let's see. Son of a bitch. Yeah, let's try this. Because 75 is my kind of default negative tile, but top level tile. All of these, what the fuck? Oh, that's the bed. Oh, the bed can't have light on it because there's only room for one top level tile ID. Okay, so if we're on top level, let's just try to put a couple of empty top level tiles here with the 75, and we'll export as global map. Yeah, you know what? Now I think about it, I think it does 0. It uses 0 for any tiles you don't explicitly draw. Yeah, see, now we have those green cookie vignettes. Okay. But that's... Here, let's go back here. I didn't draw any on this page though. What the If the tile ID is not equal to 75. Okay, it should be not equal to 0. Because 0 is an empty tile. But I just drew 75 over them, so that it should be all fucked up. But why the whole line? I didn't draw the whole line. That is so weird. Shit. Not that. Not that. Dude, the further I dig in my game, the more I realize just how busted everything is, you know? I don't blame me. This is, you know, my first game. I made an arcade game before this. This is so jacked up. I don't know what I was thinking with this does not equal 75 business. Yo, thanks, Rough Cookie. I'm really proud of it, although I don't know what the hell's going on right now with the cookie vignette. I have to say, I do not know what's going on with the cookie vignette right now. Why is it rendering only well, we put a Y offset here. We only put, what the fuck are we doing? We only put the X. God, this is so jacked up. Okay, we'll put in, no, we did, oh my god, yeah, we just jacked this up. Did I ever show you my project before this, Rough Cookie? Have you ever seen that? This is so fucking bad. I have to delete all this. I have to just... I'm not gonna use my eyeballs to compare the text right now. Okay, this is our X and Y. Okay. So we're saying everything that's not 75, which nothing is 75. Yeah, Joust. Yeah, I did Joust before this. So it's not that it's 75 if we do not 0. If there is a valid tile, fuck, it still wants to put it everywhere, even though we only have the rectangle draw if the quad does not equal 0. Let's look at our global table and see what's in our top level tile ID, just because at this point I'm curious. We have a global map exported somewhere. Thought it was right here. Where? Global map is in graphics. Why the fuck? Okay, whatever. Okay, what the global map right here. Okay, so tiled exports this. This is the ground level tile layer. Oh my god. This is the above ground. This is the top level tile. Yeah, see, they're all zeros. So only the things we drew with a top level ID gets a non-zero. So that's why I thought if the tile ID does not equal a 0, let's draw the cookie vignette. Let's draw the thing that we're supposed to draw. Which that's working. Shit. Cause yeah, I think my first couple weeks streaming on Twitch, I was still finishing up that game. We are rendering the top level tile, so it's like the non-zero works. It's just that we're also rendering every freaking one here. But as we cycle through, you know, quads tile ID. Where the hell are we getting this quads table from? Yeah, dude, I remember that for sure. Yeah. That was epic, dude. Yeah, you guys came. Yeah, I was sitting at 47 followers, and then you guys popped in and bombarded me. And then I thanked Salsa. I'm like, Salsa, thank you so much, Salsa. Thank you. We just hit affiliate. Thank you, Salsa. I really appreciate that. That was like, I think that was like the second time I was ever rated. That was funny. I still think about that sometimes. Okay, I mean, what the hell is this quads at index tile ID? Is this quads? What the? Quads is a global from our tile sheet. Okay. I haven't touched this code in months, man. Quads is a table of generate quads from our tile sheet. So it's just the quads of our entire master sheet. And we're going, this is wrong. Yeah, we don't want to be doing this. We do not want to be doing this. Is this how we do it for the above ground? Yeah, this is just wrong. I think we just want to ask if the tile ID. I don't think we care about the quads table. If the tile ID, you know, we snag the tile. Jeez, yeah. Because if it's a 2D array, then the tile is the actual ID at the current location. And if the ID is anything other than a 0, that's the only time you want to draw something. And then we draw something, and then we draw a cookie vignette on top. Oh shoot, I just screwed that up. I can dump a bunch of these. We can do a battle royale. I haven't done that in forever. Have you seen the battle royale game? Check this out. We just started a battle royale. And then, oh, that's so cool. You guys parachute in. And then it's like a free-for-all. I gotta do that more often. That's epic, man. They just go ham at each other. I'm basically dead. Yo, who just died? Oh, Practical's about to be dead. Goob goob. Sorry, goob goob. Ooh, I'm somehow still alive with 1 health. And then I murder Soup with 1 health somehow. No way. Oh no, Salto. Don't do this to me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yo, we gotta play that more. That's pretty awesome. And Salto really did just do that to me. Okay. I'm a little stumped on this, to be honest. I'm kind of curious how we're doing this for how we're rendering ground level tiles, right? So like, do we pull from the ground table here? I think it's in our map. See, look, we just pull the tile. We just pull the tile and then we render it and we give it a quad's tile ID as the quad from our global master sheet. But we just need the tile ID. Yeah, so if we snag the tile from this, tile is, yeah, tile's YX. YX. Yeah. So we snag the tile. If the tile is not 0, we're going to do something. So what's really weird is like whatever I choose this tile to be, it still renders some shit. Like if I could say, well, only if the tile ID is equal to 0, then do something. Oh, it doesn't do it. And it, okay, well, if it's equal to, like, what the heck? See, like, that's almost it, which is just so weird. That's like the inverse of what we want, right? You know, we're not rendering, we're rendering, yeah, we're not rendering any top level tile. This is so weird. We're not rendering any top level tile, so that means we're rendering, why, like, why is it, why render that piece on the right here? What is it with it that that piece is showing up? And this random, like, what's the reason to why these are rendering different colors? I don't even know. So if we say, like we used to have it, if it's not equal to 75, which is totally busted, then we get, what the fuck, man? I mean, that's close. Yeah, so this is all the top level tiles, because this is like, yeah, the light is shining on us over here. So if the tile ID does not equal 75, but like almost none of them equal 75, then we're gonna draw them. You know what? I think I might be doing some janky shit with 75. I might be assigning 0 tiles to become 75 somewhere. No? I'm not doing it. Oh, yeah, I am. Look at this. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm cycling through. I left a big to-do in the comment right there. to do and didn't even say what the hell it was. Okay, so this is cycling through. Where is this? Our data downloader? This is in our map init. Yeah, we set. Oh my god. This is so jacked up. Okay, so I think what I'm doing, I didn't like the idea that 0, because we can't render a tile at index 0. There's no 0 indexing in Lua. And I already drew stuff at tile 1. So I was like, well, okay, I'll make the designated empty tile 75 so that anytime there's a 0 in our global map, we're actually populating it with the value 75. Because we need to render something in that spot, because we go through and render the tile ID for everything. So if it was not drawn, then we actually draw an empty tile. So it's kind of, you know, it's like I programmed it or something. So we are assigning it to 75. So right now we're saying if the tile ID does not equal 75, so if there is a tile in the overworld, we're gonna draw. Okay, so this is finally working. Like this. These are all the top level tile IDs. So let's see now. This is jacked up. This is really jacked up. Because if we try to draw a vignette, oh my god, dude, I can't believe the vignette turned out to be this crazy. Because in our game, we render the ground level tiles, then we render the player, then we render the top level tiles, then we render the cinematic tiles like the Flama thing. And if we want only our player to be bright, we have to make sure we render our player at pure white and everything else at this cookie vignette color, which is like, you know, it's very it's weird to add cookie vignette to the entire render logic of everything, including a map, a scene, a play state, a cinematic state, just for it to be toggled off most of the time. Vignette, render everything. Render vignette, render player again. You're a genius, Rough Cookie. This could totally work. Yeah, because it's like just render the vignette on top and then render the player on top of that shit. Yeah, you're totally right. Look at you. There is an easy job. It's called listen to Rough Cookie. That's exactly what we can do. I'm glad we kind of did this because this refreshed me on how the hell this was working. But yeah, let's take this out. Let's nuke every reference of a cookie vignette for now, and we'll just do exactly what you said. We'll do exactly that. Okay, so in our intro top trigger, after our show off, we're gonna say, you know what, let's just render that vignette. And we're gonna say, yeah, we have to do a set color. Yeah, because it'd be like a sandwich, right? We render the vignette on top of the player, and then we put Tashio as the bread on top. And we set the color as the cookie vignette color, which right now is green, but we'll fix it. And then we're going to do a draw of a rectangle. Fill type, and then the whole screen. So virtual width and virtual height. Okay. And now that should render the cookie vignette only in the mageIntro top trigger, which is on a T press here. Okay, so we've got the vignette. So let's just continue to test this out, and we say, okay, well, when we render the vignette, we now need to re-render the player, which we're doing in the scene view, but we can just re-render him here at his own location, right? I mean, the render function for him should put him on top. Yeah, perfect. And then we just need Flamma to be also on top. So if we're in a show off, we're gonna render the vignette, then we're gonna render the stuff that goes on top. Yeah. And then now we need the vignette to be proper color, right? I mean, I'm just gonna put the vignette back on at the beginning so that I can test the colors, but it's just gonna be transparent black. Maybe 100, and we'll do black. So let's see. Yeah, a little bit darker, right? Yeah, something like that. And then we want to only do this vignette if we're in the show off. And then, so what we'll do is right here. Yeah, we're going to take this off and only do the vignette if we're in show off. So let's see. Rough Cookie's magic paid off. And I do think I want to, now that we've got the vignette, I mean, I'm assuming it's working, but let's just, I want to do the, I do want to move the mage again on step 5 or whatever it was. Did we turn that off? We stopped. Yeah, we tween it and clear it here on step 5. What the hell did we do? Okay, we want to do this. We want to put the step 6 here and timer clear on this. Okay, let's try this. Okay, here we go. Oh, we're in a freaking ad. Okay, are you okay? You don't remember anything? There's so much to relearn, but take it slow. He should step up to us at this point in a step 5, and he's not doing that. Step 5, he should tween. Oh, we're tweening to the same location instead of the new location, right? Okay. Okay, you don't remember anything. There's much to relearn. Take it slow. Fucking shit. He doesn't move. Take it slow. Yeah, then we're going to tween his Y to be tile size times 3, which is actually where the player is, so that's wrong. Now, yeah, until the mage becomes tile size times 2, we're not going to clear or advance this step. So why is this not working? Not tweening in a self step 5, which we should trigger here. Yeah. But we don't tween there. I know we changed this. But oh, we're clearing the timer there. Okay, let's try it again. Okay. Are you okay? Okay, he should walk towards us now. Okay, nice. This can be dangerous if you're careless, but you will need it for doing your taxes. Dude, look at that vignette. I love that. Yo, great idea, Rough Cookie. That was exactly how to do it. Instead of the digging that I was doing, man. That was rough. I like the cookie method. I mean, it's like an ice cream cookie, right? Where you have a cookie, then the ice cream, then the cookie. Tashio's the cookie. The vignette's the ice cream. The cookie vignette ice cream. And then Tashio's the cookie on top. Which just makes perfect sense. Okay, we've got a couple new images. I don't want the 112 in our Git, so we'll take it out. I'm glad we tried it. It just doesn't vibe with Game Boy feels to me, so I think we'll get rid of it. And then we will commit with a message saying added mageIntro trigger. Yo, Rough Cookie, that was so helpful. I would have been trying to do that my way so much longer, because part of me just wanted to understand it and try to actually figure it out. But dude, that your way was like 6 lines of code and it worked perfect, so that was money. I actually kind of want to do like a gold glow beneath the orb too, so maybe we can figure that out too. Yeah, maybe before I do this, because if you look at Tashio here, like, see this gold glow he's got on his loot? I think I want a kind of gold glowy also on that. I don't know if there's like a feature for a love.circle that we can kind of feather some edges or do some dithering. That would be really cool if we can do some dithering. I'm just going to Google real quick if that is possible. What the fuck, man? Number of segments used when drawing a circle. The default variable varies. Okay, so segments is an argument we can do to circle. There's also a graphics arc and ellipse. Okay, probably circle. I've never tried doing a segment, so I'm kind of curious what that does. Number of segments used. I guess that's kind of like concentric circles, maybe. So it's fill XY radius segment. Let's try to get that real quick and then we'll call it a night. Let's see. What the? It's 1:20 already? Holy crap. I am so glad it's Friday. Okay, if it's a show off, and before it's a show off even, because I want to see what it looks like, we just want to try to draw a graphics dot circle. It'll be a fill type, but we'll use an X and a Y. We'll just put it at the center of the screen for now. And then a radius, we'll put it, let's do maybe 64, 4 tile radius. And then segments, let's just see what 10 segments looks like. And we'll do a set color of yellow. Do we have yellow? We do have yellow. Let's see what a segments of 10 looks like. Dependencies 113, we didn't get rid of that. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay, I don't see the circle until we do this. Oh my god. Okay, segments is like this, the corners. Okay, I mean maybe we can do our own dithering in Love2d. I'd be curious what it could look like. Yeah, segments is not the move. What the hell would a 3 segment circle just be a freaking triangle? You know, a circle with the argument 3. Okay. Yeah, okay, real quick, I want to see if I can figure out a quick little thing here. So let's say there's a 32 by 32. And it's going to be black. And we're going to have a fancy circle on top. And it's going to be yellow. Is there any fancy like dithering we can do to this? Alternative paint bucket? Where the hell? I guess it's this one, yeah? Oh. Wow, I didn't know you could... This is the gradient tool, though. Right? Gradient tool. Paint bucket. There's another option, you said? There's a second tool. Okay, so it is this, but... I don't know. I want it to look like... Oh, here, no dithering. Oh, yes. A Bayer matrix. Yeah, exactly that. That's the what I want. But, how do I do it? I do not know how to use this at all. Yeah, I gotta nuke it. Okay. So we pick a gradient, we pick a Bayer matrix, we pick a yellow. Yeah, exactly something like that. But I want it way smaller. Yeah, radial. Yeah. Yes, exactly like this, Soup. This is exactly it. Yes. You know, maybe bigger than 6464. But maybe we see what a 4x4 looks like too. No, I think this is probably the right size. Something like this is exactly what I want. Yeah, something just like this. Yeah, this is what I want. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do the replace color. How did I screw that up? Okay, yep. Okay, that color, this color needs to be black. Or transparent, actually. Yes. And then this color, yeah, needs to be gold. Yo, brightside, hey! Yo, thanks for the raid, homie. Yo, we're not doing chasms right now, actually. But we're trying to add this little pattern. I think it should maybe be a little brighter yellow here. Yo, how was your stream, dude? Let's try this. Yo, thanks for the raid, man. I appreciate it. Hope you guys had fun over there. How long was your stream tonight? Yeah, I'm gonna name this graphic after you, Brightside. It's gonna be Brightside in our graphics folder, because it is a bright thing that's supposed to show, you know, we just get a new item from in our beginning, and then we're gonna put nice, dude, good job. Yeah, I do have a bit more raids, but dude, yeah, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna, so yeah, you've got a name, a game object named after you, Brightside. So we're gonna import it here and then try to draw it at the right location. So we're gonna make sure our Brightside has got it. I mean, it fits, right? We're drawing, it's like the glow. If you look at our character here, it's the glow in our loot right here. It's that, like, when we get a thing, we hold it up and it's gonna have the Brightside but behind it. So that's what we're trying to add right now, and then I'm gonna call it a night because it's been over 3 hours, which is more than I normally do. So we're gonna pull our Brightside PNG as a global drawable here, and then we're gonna go to our cinematic, and we're gonna do a Brightside render beneath our player and beneath our item we just got. So we're gonna do a love.graphics.draw, and we're gonna draw our Brightside, and we're gonna put it at, you know, we have to kind of offset it. It's 4 tiles wide. So if we just draw it at the player's location, it'll be too far down and to the right. So we need to shift it left and up, and we need to shift it left by a whole tile and shift it up a whole tile. So we'll see if our Brightside is looking, and it should render on top of the vignette there. So it should look glowy, and it should look, actually, we need to do it. Did we not export it? Yeah, did we not export it? What the I swore we exported it. It's okay, we'll do it again. It should be brighter than this, right? It should be brighter. There we go. Look at that brightness. There we go. Yeah, it should look golden bright. There we go. So let's try this again. Save as Tashio Graphics Brightside. Yeah, it's not in here. I don't know how we messed that. So we'll save it as a PNG, Brightside PNG, and then we're gonna see if it works. We don't want to center it around the player. We want to center it around the treasure, is what I'm calling it. So like we have the self dot treasure X. The treasure, that's our first spell cast that we're getting from the mage here. And we're going to be drawing it a tile to the left and a tile up from the center. Let me think that through. Yeah, it'll probably be a little offset, but we should be able to see what it looks like. So here in our game, this is like the kind of like tutorial level that it boots you in. And then when you walk up the stairs here, he'll interrupt you. Oh, ignore that circle on screen there. That was a circle we were drawing earlier. As you can tell by the love.graphics circle draw, we just gave it a 3-segment parameter that made it appear to be a triangle, but it was a circle. So he walks up. This can be dangerous if you're careless, but you'll need it for doing your taxes. Son of a bitch. Treasure X is nil. We're in a step 8. We have a treasure X in a step 8. And we're drawing this at a self treasure X on a step 8. Yeah, where do we become show off true? Right here in a step 7. So it should work. We should have access to the treasure X. Let's just draw it here at a player +3, player -10, just to cut the bullshit, and then we'll see. Oh, I want to keep the minus tile size though. So we're gonna say player minus, I already forgot it, -3 was it? And -10 +3. And then a -10. Yeah, we need to do the X right here. Okay, +3 -10 for the bright side graphic. We render beneath our player and the spell. So +3 -10 is indeed correct. So let's try it. Yo, Professor Cloak. Yo, dude. Yo, I might name him that, dude. Soup was saying that too. Soup was saying that it was Professor Oak's office. Yo, Professor Cloak, that's epic. Prof Cloak, dude. Yo, he might legitimately be renamed in the game. Okay, our bright side is not very bright. So we did not set our color for it, and it needs to be a little right and a little down. So let's do this. We're gonna set where we do bright side. Yes, we need to set our color back. So this needs to be outside. Yeah, we're rendering. Actually, yeah, we fill it. Okay, yeah, we do need to set our color back to white here so that we can see bright side. And then it needs to be a little to the right, so we'll just add some. I'll probably come up with constants for that. And a little down, so minus a little less pixels. Okay, we'll see. You like that moonwalking he does there? Okay, this should be it. We should see bright side here. Yo! Yo, that's pretty close to being... I mean, it's not quite center. It needs to be a little, like 2 pixels to the right. But that dithering looks pretty sick. It may be too bright. It may be too bright side, just a bit. We need 2 pixels to the right. And then I think we don't want it fully white. I think we want it mainly white, but 200 of 255 opacity, and then maybe it looks good there. Shit, that's our opening. Fuck. Do it right here. Okay. It looks cool. I think it looks cool. So Rough Cookie's idea was to do this vignette, like darken everything. Oh, that looks pretty sweet. Because imagine with some like Zelda music here or something. Yeah, I like it. It looks a little too thick on the dithering, I think. Like, I think I want it a little thinner. Because it doesn't, you know, it needs to like maybe have a hole for the thing that it's showing off so that you can see it better. But it is looking really cool. So it's like, it's almost like, yeah, it's close. But it needs like a... It needs like an empty spot in here. So I'm wondering if we can do like a transparent... Shit. Can we do... Because I don't want to just take out pixels here, although we could. Yeah, we could do a radiant like that. I just want like fewer dithered pixels. It's looking pretty sweet though, to be honest. Let's see what this looks like, because it'll be very easy. All we gotta do is save it and it should be in the game. You came at a good time, Brightside, because it's like I was just coming off like a 30 minutes of like not getting shit done until Rough Cookie helped me. Okay. It's too thick. It's too thick on the dither. Like, this is better. It's still a little too thick, I think. It looks cool. It's close. Yeah, it's just a little too thick. Laying it on a little thick there on the bright. Let's try it again. Let's try... Yeah, what we'll do is we'll do a new layer, or a new 32 by 32. We'll try a different version of it. And we'll try this again. Let's try this 2 by 2. And let's snag the same coloring we did for this. Okay. Yeah, the 2 by 2, something is like too clean about the 2 by 2 dither. Here's the 4 by 4, which we had, and that's just too thick. Yeah, we might have to go with the 2 by 2. Because also, well, yeah, I think we're going to have to go with the 2 by 2. It looks a little like too clean, but also it should kind of be predictable. Okay. So maybe this, it's just that I want a perfectly transparent inner. Yeah, it's almost like we need a tool to kind of be transparent, so we can kind of have this as a transparent part. So let me try this. Let's snag this part as like an inner transparent part. We'll add this to a new layer. Yeah, and then we'll go back here and we'll re-change this to be this. This will be what, black? What are you doing to me? Yeah. This is gonna be our bright white or yellow. No, how do we do this? We inverted it. Okay, something just like this. It's hard to get it symmetrical. There we go. That looks okay. 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 So now I want to put empty in here. Okay. See, and then I want like a little bit of something over here, so. What is going on with this? Okay. So this, I want just these inner pieces. So it's not completely empty on the inside? Yeah. There we go. Okay, so if that's the inside and that's the outside, then we just need to match the color. Yeah, something like that. It just doesn't look center. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Okay, let's just make sure that this is the right color. Okay. Yes, let's see this. So if this is our new brightside, let us save as PNG brightside, and then we will run the game and see what it looks like, and then probably call it a night. Let's go. Let's go. It's just too much. It's just too many pixels. It needs to be thinner. Yeah, it's just too many pixels. It should be a lot thinner on the pixels. Let's compare it to our first brightside. Yeah, our first brightside was even better with that. Okay. Well, maybe we can... I want to see if we can... Can we Bayer erase? Like if we set our color to erase? No? Like a transparent overlay? Doesn't really work like that. Because I want to erase like pieces of this, but not all of it. So like, I don't want to just do that, right? It looks nasty. I feel like there's a tool that could do this, but I just do not know. See, and I'm thinking like we can do another layer like this. We do another layer like this, and then we replace all of the black with transparent once we've merged these layers. So we'll flatten these layers. Yeah, and then we erase some of them. So now it's more of like a speckled. Yeah, let's try that. That should look better. I think it looks sweet. You know, I mean, I'll probably touch it up a bit, but that looks pretty epic. Yeah, I'll probably touch it up, but for now, I think that's good. That looks pretty sweet. Yeah, it's a little too bright. It's a little too bright. But I like it. I'll tweak it further, but I think what I'll do is I'll turn off the step printing for this, and then we'll commit. Yeah, it's a little too many pixels still. It's a little distracting. Like I want the element to be the main focus. Yeah, but this is good for now. This is good. So let's turn off the step render, and then we'll just call it a night here. All right. So we're going to commit. We're going to say that this is actually the mageIntro cinematic that we worked on today with, I call it cookieVignette, which is like the cookieVignette is like the darkening, and then brightside is the bright light. So we'll commit that. We committed brightside PNG, and we'll push to our baton touch branch. We forgot to merge it into our main, but that's okay. I'll just make sure we merge that into main at some point soon. So we're still kind of testing some stuff out on that branch, but that'll be it for the night. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for the raid, Brightside. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all our credited supporters. I'm gonna find someone to raid out to here, and then we'll see who's on. But yeah, good day today. Rough Cookie gave some good suggestions. Brightside came in with the raid. That was awesome. Yo, I don't know. No one's really raiding right now. Yo, who was that? Cavictus. Yo, thank you for the gifted sub. That is very nice of you. Thanks, Cavictus. Yo, it's been a while since I've seen you around. Yeah, you're welcome, Brightside. Thank you for raiding. We'll raid out here to a homie called Jed M, who's always working on his games, so I always like throwing him a raid if Brightside is not on. So we'll raid out to Jed M, and thanks Cavictus for the gifted sub. That's epic. I think we're like 4 subs away from the next emote goal. So I'll probably gift some subs here, so we can hit that emote stretch goal, because we've got a lot of subs recently, so we can unlock some new emote tiers. So that'll be cool. But thanks for watching, everybody. We'll raid out.